Hey everybody, Chance Priest here. I'm gonna do a little video for y'all to explain the whole rollout. Y'all see me doing the construction videos where the 3P Industries, the vinyl lab, the toy making facility, the toy factory, whatever you want to call it, where it's going in at. I've had so many freaking crushing emails, and which that's good. I'm so happy when people are interested and they're like, hey, great, awesome, just to explain something to y'all. So everybody knows what all's happening, It's me, Milad Kansari, and Eric Shorn. We are partners in that business. And that business, 3P, is primarily going to be for making toys. But it's really primarily for making other people's toys. I over the last 2 years, I've had so many people ask me to make toys for them, like, hey, can you do the molding or the casting or the whatever, and granted I can, but the thing is, when you're a one-man band, you can't do it all and do your own stuff. And so and I also want to get my own stuff out there in greater numbers, because I'll tell you, man, it hurts my feelings when people say I've always wanted a piece from you but I can't afford it. That bugs me you have no idea like how bad that bugs me to death. But the amount of hours that I put in a piece, it's really hard to just say, oh, well, here, have that for $25, because it just takes so many long hours of painting and everything. I mean, like, here's a piece, I laid some out in preparation for this video. Here's a piece I did, a Skullum, which is everybody's favorite. Imagine that, the skull guy. Anyway, where I painted bones, and there's like 3 layers of paint per each bone, and then the final layer is glow in the dark, and he's got a cobra, that's painted. I mean, I don't know if you can see all the different colors that go in the head, but I don't blanket paint, what I call toy paint, where you're just doing, if the boots are blue, they're just blue. I don't do that. It's not because I physically can't, mentally I can't. I just gotta go oh man, I'm gonna add a little detail there. Oh no, let me put 2-3 shades of red. Let me put 2-3. And before I know it, I've got hours and hours and hours in each piece. Okay. And I know a lot of y'all out there collect my pieces, and I appreciate it. Huge. I appreciate it. But what I'm wanting to do, what is gonna happen, of course, I've already showed y'all the Warriors Universe banner, and they'll be right here in just a day or two. I'll be showing off the artwork and probably the prototype. I'm not gonna probably tomorrow. I'm gonna get it finished. I'll have the prototype done. And bad me. It's just been really busy, y'all. And I don't mean just kind of busy. I mean, I'm talking like working 12 and 14 hours, and just trying to find a time to sleep. It's just work. Anyway, so what I'm doing is just take a piece, because actually this is the first Green Aaron I ever made, which is one of my heroes, which is a knockoff of, the look is a knockoff of Spider-Man and maybe some other stuff combined. But anyway, that's the very first Green Aaron I ever did. Green Aaron is going to be one of the first releases, and he actually looks a little different because of the stories that I write. He's got a monster that's actually attached to the back of his head, and it actually gives him his powers, and he wears the mask to hide the monster, and of course it also uglied him up a lot underneath. And then anyway, so like this Green Aaron here is painted in multiple layers. It's shadowed. It's just the flesh. There's four colors on the flesh. The green, all the green has 2 to 3 colors, that kind of deal. When they're made by 3P, which will just be me, Milad, and Eric, and then we'll have a couple of hands, which are more than likely my sons, at first, and we'll eventually have some other employees. I ain't gonna call nobody employees, helpers, whatever you want to call it, I hate that, guys are gonna help us, and or ladies. Anyway, we're gonna be casting these in a solid, like an all flesh colored, and then we'll just paint the boots and the little accessories. So it'll be painted like a toy. It won't be all this stuff. And the only difference between the new ones and the ones that I've done is still be my sculptures. But the only thing between the new ones and these It's just that there'll be multiple people working on them, all by hand. Absolutely everything handmade. The packaging that we're getting in, of course, we're having a packaging company and they actually are doing them on old-timey 1800s presses. It's really neat, y'all. Heidelberg presses. That's my card back that I put in my stuff. It'll be different. Theo Kane's doing the artwork, and there'll be some real special stuff going on. I'll get to that in a second, but yeah, Heidelberg presses and the card backs will look really, really beautiful. Custom bubbles. I found a place in Ohio that does custom bubbles. It's just awesome, and everything will be laid down. You know, we'll be putting the figure. We'll do all the figures 100% ourselves by hand in house, and then we'll put those in the packages and we'll lay the bubble down, and they will be put out. They'll be sold by the case or by the thing or by the piece. And you can get them on Priest Monsters, Aliens, and Superheroes, or any way you can contact me, Eric, or Milad. We'll be able to get you the figures as long as we have them made up. They will be more mass made, of course, you know. But we can also, instead of like one of my handmade pieces starts at $75, $85 and goes up, these pieces will be $24.95, packaged, sealed in the package, ready to go. So I figured y'all would really like that because that's really cheap. And for what you're going to get, they're only going to have movable arms. So don't get too excited. You know, they're not going to be as labor intensive as I do my stuff, my personal stuff. And I'm still going to make my very own, all 100% painted, 100% handmade ones that I do. And those will all be packaged different, all that stuff like that. Also in this first 3P production, see, it's like I still own my company, Victory Comics, you know, and I bring it to my partners and we make it together as 3P. So it'll be Victory Comics made by 3P. If any of y'all out there want say y'all are small scale 5.5 makers, or I mean, of course, vinyl is going to be our thing. You know, we're going to do tons of vinyls, but say you want to do your own 5.5 figure. You know, you're like, man, I make this dude, you know, and I want y'all to make 100 of him or 200 of him or whatever like that. We're going to be there to make them for you. And it'll be your sculpt. All we're doing is doing the casting, the painting, the packaging, and we get them to you. And we get them to you cheap. So you can sell them, make money, and you can remain a toy artist and still have a living coming in, you know. And I mean, I tell everybody this: if you don't love every bit of toy making, get out, because it's labor intensive. It is the most rewarding thing I've ever done in my life, and I used to save people's lives for a living, so that tells you a lot. I love making toys because the toys make people happy, man. People get them and they're just gushing happy, and there ain't nothing feels any better than that. Also in the rollout. The first 3P rollout, which will be Warriors Universe. I'm going to repeat myself over and over. I'm not crazy, even though everybody thinks I am. So in that first rollout, there's also going to be black bubbles. And you're not going to know what's behind those black bubbles. You'll just pay $24.95, and you know what? You might pop open a black bubble and you're going to have one of my handmade, 100% handmade, hand-painted figures. You might have a solid figure in a really odd color or a really one-of-a-kind configuration, and there's going to be a chase figure in this first rollout that will be limited to 25 worldwide only. So 25, and none of this stuff's going to be mass produced. I mean, we're not talking about making hundreds of thousands. Yeah, I mean, some of them. It really just depends on the orders we get, the sales we have, you know, how many we produce. There'll be a limit to everything because we're going to release 5 at a time. There'll be 5 coming out at the end of November, 1st of December, definitely in time for Christmas. There'll be 5 more coming out 2 months later. So at no time will you get sleepy waiting for more new figures. And in the middle, we're going to do. Look at the back of your packages, because you're going to have special offers to, or even like in the Black Deal, special tickets to send in, and you'll be available to buy something that's extremely limited or extremely rare, because we've also got monsters, you know. So there's going to be some really cool monsters to fight these guys. I mean, like, you know, monsters like that. You know, monsters like the Mugatovore. which is just, man beast cool, right? Now most of these will be made in solid rubber and will be static, like because I'm a huge fan of the D&D series from the 80s, man. I mean, huge fan of it. I love it. The thing is, I don't like the guys as near as much. I do like shield shooters, but I like I love the rubber monsters that you could always get in those packs, multiple packs. Well, there'll be those, but they're not going to be just, for sale. There's a really cool one I just scoped. These are all ones I sculpted, and available through me. Anyway, but I want to be able to put them out where everybody can afford them and they can get them out, and we can just build this thing and it even make 5.5 bigger than it already is, and it won't affect the custom market, the artist made stuff, because like I say, I'm going to still be doing my artist made stuff, and the guy I looked up to always, Luke Walker, he'll be doing his custom made stuff, and I, like I told Luke, dude, people are going to want your work no matter what, and that goes with Frank Russo, Muscaloids, same deal, man. I mean, people are always going to want your handmade work, because it's like the more mass-produced toys are more of a print of your work, right? And then there's always, every artist has his print and every artist has his originals, and the price is always big difference, and most people want the originals other than the prints, right? So that's the way it's always going to be. And but as y'all know, I've made 175, well, no, I take that back. I've made 185 different Warriors of the Universe so far, and they'll pretty much all be coming out. And of course, I've already got on my mind to make a whole bunch more. Sorry, I have to have a tea break. Yes, I'm back on the sweet tea. Sorry, couldn't live without it. Anyway, that's just a little, man. I mean, if I can just throw out a quick snippet, I don't do anything quick. Every time I tell somebody, I'm gonna tell you a real quick story. 30 minutes later, I'm still not to it. But that gives you kind of an overview of what you're gonna see. Lots of weird stuff going on, like proof of purchase type stuff. Hey, send this in, or everything's gonna be serial numbered. So send that in, and we'll get you we'll get you in a drawing for something that's rare, and then you're gonna have, like, say, the tickets. Also inside the black bubbled ones where you can't see what you're getting. You could have just an incredible one-of-one rarity. You could have it's just, I mean, you don't know. And these are all going to be, we agreed, me and the guys at 3P, we agreed what we're going to do is we're going to random pack everything, insert everything in cases, and shut our eyes. There's no way we're going to mark or know what's in what. So if somebody says, I want a case, we're going to walk over there. All we'll do is grab the case, make sure it's full, tape it up, sell you the case. And if you want to do wholesale, we are going to have some wholesale. So you can order this stuff wholesale, but it's going to be a pretty big minimum because of the way we're making them. I'm trying to think of anything else. Of course, I'm going to forget 5 things that I'm supposed to say. There's going to be special offers for art prints and just all kinds of cool. Dude, I'm so into cool stuff. I mean, I'm the guy that thinks more of the toy that I got out of the cereal box in 1982 than I do of a Hot Toys 101, whatever. I mean, I love little funny trinkety stuff. So we'll have that, and the card backs. Like I said, Theo Kane's doing the whole series of card backs, but we're having other artists do their version. I'll have some of my hand painted art on some of the card backs. Milad will have some. There'll be a couple other. I don't want to give it away because it's pretty cool. So a couple other artists, 3 other artists doing some card backs. But the card backs, those card backs will be just randomly inserted. So they'll be very short. I mean, maybe for every 100 of the regular, we'll see 1 of the other. So not really trying to make it more collectible, but make it fun, man. My life is about fun, man. I've seen so much and done so much, and not all of it's been fun. And I anytime I'm around toys, I'm happy and I'm having fun, and this is what I want to do, and I'm doing it. And I hope y'all follow the construction. I'll be posting videos nonstop of the construction of of the 3P. It's big, y'all. I mean, I don't know if y'all could tell from the, it's a huge, you know, looks like a football field size building, and there'll be a giant parking lot and a road coming in, and then the giant fence that's, you know, 11 feet tall around. It's really neat. It's really neat. But anyway, I think we'll have the building completely up and done in 3 weeks. The interior is another. We'll be working in there before the interior is done. So, but we'll be working on that probably, you know, slow as we go for the next few months. Anyway, also a lot of people ask if there's going to be weapons. Of course, you know, I'll have my handmade weapons. Blah 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 blah. And and a lot of people want to know what they're going to be made out of. They're going to be made out of automotive urethane. What I make my Warriors Universe out of. Hard to describe the material. The best thing to do is say it's just it's so much like a green plastic army man. It has, you know, it don't just it's not like hobby resin that just snaps and breaks. I repeat that, but people always go, "Hey, your resin." So it's a little different. It's a little different. Well, it's actually a lot different, and the way you cast it and everything's completely different than you do resin. So anyway, that's a brief overview. I'll probably repeat myself a million times. I'll probably do 1,000 videos that says this is what we're doing, like I've never done one before. But you know how it is. You know, half the people don't pay attention, half the people don't watch, or they watch a third of it, or whatever. But anyway, I'm glad to explain myself anytime. I just had so many videos. So many of y'all are like, man, hey, you know, we want to know what's up. We want to know what's going on. That's what's going on, man. Nothing's really changing, except it's just getting bigger, you know, and being able to do things for other people, which I think is cool, you know. I know a lot of guys that want to be in the toy business, and that's kind of crazy because people would think, oh, well, we're building the competitor's stuff. Well, yeah, I guess so, but I'm sorry, I'm a collector, and I collect, 10 million different lines, and I want 20 million lines because I don't think there's enough. I don't think there's enough cool stuff to collect. So that's it. That's what we're doing, and we definitely are not trying to hurt anybody, especially not the resin 5.5 art community, because that's our community. Actually, we're trying to grow that community and possibly help a lot of those artists that want to say, hey, you know, I got my art figures, and I'm going to send it to you, and I want a print of that. Basically, that's what they're doing. We're the print makers. We're going to make you prints, you know. So that's it. But still, 100% hand done in Texas, baby. Even the plastic that I use is made in Texas. The silicone I use is made in Texas. I mean, it's crazy. I won't lie. We could not get the right card. We want real high quality card backs and real high quality bubbles, and I could not get them made in Texas. But Ohio ain't bad neither, baby. So that's the deal. And if y'all got any questions, man, y'all holler at me. I'm accessible. Y'all know I'll shoot back, you know, something all the time. Anyway, that's the story. So I'm gonna go. Victory.